Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to install the checkbox trigger if you are using Clickfunnels as your landing page builder. So after you create your checkbox, you'll see the embed code tab here, and you'll be able to then start the installation of your checkbox trigger. So the first thing you want to do, if you want to be able to preview your installation and make sure that you have done it right while in Clickfunnels, you'll need to authorize Clickfunnels domain. So you'll go ahead and type in clickfunnels.com. You do not need to add any of the subdomain or anything like that. If you do it just clickfunnels.com, it'll automatically add those subdomains. The next thing you'll want to do is if you are going to be using a custom domain or a subdomain or anything like that where your page actually populates, so if it's not going to be on your Clickfunnels subdomain but rather you're publishing it to your website, you'll want to add that domain here as well if it's not already added. So for this example, we will have it on eofire.com, so it's already added, so we don't need to add any more. But for example, if you owned example.com and this is where you wanted it to show up, you need to add that domain here. All right. Once that's added, we're on to the next steps of actually installing this onto your web page. The first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to copy this top code, and we're going to have to go ahead and add it to the page that we are going to be posting on. So I'm going to go over to ClickFunnels, and you'll want to enter the editor of the page that you want your button to appear on. So here I am. Once inside the editor, you're going to go to Settings, go to Tracking Code. In the header code area, we're simply going to paste this code here. So very simple. Copy this code here, head over to Settings, Tracking Code, Header, and paste it there. It's the same that you'll do for any of the triggers that you install on your site. So if you've already added that on the site, you may be able to skip that step. The next thing you need to do is go ahead and copy our actual embed code for the checkbox. So we're going to go ahead and copy this checkbox code here, and you'll want to place it where you want the checkbox to actually appear on the screen. So for example, if I wanted my checkbox to appear underneath this button, then I would go ahead and add an HTML element. I would click Add New Element and add an HTML element under that button. However, we want this to show close to where people enter in their email. So we're going to go to Show Pop-Up, and right here is where somebody enters their email. I want ours to appear right under this button here. So what you need to do now is go ahead and add new element, scroll down and click Custom JS/HTML. It's under a miscellaneous element. You can also type in here if you can't find it. If you start typing custom, it'll pop up. So once that's added, you can go ahead and click into it, and then you have the option for your spacing, how far below your previous element you want it to be. I found that 10 is pretty good, so I'm going to move that. But this is all just design based and up to you. All right. So now what I need to do is I need to open Code Editor, and I'm going to go ahead and right here I'm going to paste in that embed code that we copied. So your code under step number 3, you're going to copy that and paste it inside this custom JavaScript/HTML element right where you want it to show up. Now the next thing I need to do is step 4. I need to specify what button actually submits our checkbox. All right. So the easiest way to do this is to copy this code. While you're here, press enter twice, go ahead and paste it right under your existing code. So we have it in here. And then we need to change this ID right here. We need to edit it to the custom CSS information for the button that we want to submit it. So what I need to do now is I need to close this, and this is our submit button. This button right here submits people's emails, any information you're collecting here. This could be an entire form, but whatever button submits the page is what I recommend using to trigger this messenger submission. So I'm going to go ahead and find whatever button you want to submit it, go ahead and click on it. When you're clicked on it, at the bottom right you have a little hashtag that says Get CSS Info. Go ahead and click that, and then you're going to copy the CSS ID selector. All right. So go ahead and copy this CSS ID selector. Once that's done, we can go back into our custom JavaScript / HTML element, go into Open Code Editor, and then we're going to go ahead and paste it where custom ID is and just replace that. So here is the the CSS info for that button. Now you will want to make sure that you keep both of these quotation marks here and that it's just simply on the inside of the quotation marks. If for whatever reason one of them is missing or you've entered it in wrong, you'll see kind of this highlight error like this. If everything is done correctly, you'll see that this area just stays green, grayed, and then greened here as well. So once that's all done, we can go ahead and close this, hit save. Now we're able to preview this page since we've added the Clickfunnels domain inside of Opesta already for this embed token. We should be able to see it when we hit this. It looks like it does pop up there. Now, I always recommend testing this out, so make sure you have at least one piece of content in your campaign or sequence already. I'm going to go ahead and test this out by submitting this button. I'm not a robot. And I already heard my phone vibrate to show that I've gotten this message that we send immediately when somebody opts in. So we can see here on Facebook, I just received this message. It says, Ignite, I can't wait to see you on November 30th for our amazing Podcasters Paradise webinar. Don't forget to add it to your calendar by clicking the link below. So now this person has been subscribed as a subscriber to this Opesta bot, which is me. And then they've been entered into this sequence. What I recommend is I always recommend when somebody subscribes through a checkbox, they will be added as an unknown subscriber until they interact with you in some way. So I always recommend having a button here that is, a quick reply answer or something like that, where it will have them say yes back or something like that, and then send them a link or some extra goodies. That way you can pull all their information right away. But that's how you install the checkbox trigger using Clickfunnels. If you have any issues, feel free to reach out to support and we will help you any way we can. If you're interested in figuring out how to customize it more so that this button is kind of centered and things like that, or off to a certain direction, just let us know and we can add those to the FAQs as well. If not, there'll be a link of that information below already.